The aerogel breaks up into dust and thousands of fragments. Surprisingly, though, those aerogel dusts become completely hydrophobic when applied to any surface, including my body. I'm totally waterproof because of it. Furthermore, this dust creates novel non-brittle foam-like aerogel composites that can be used in harsh environments where protection is needed. Since aerogels are made of 99% air, can you guess what type of sound they would make? Aerogels come in a variety of shapes. Quite metallic, aerogel is a truly remarkable substance. It is either the best insulation in the universe or the lowest thermally conductive solid. NASA employs this similar material to insulate spacecraft such as the Mars rovers. What material is it composed of? Only 99% of it is air. In this instance, amorphous silica makes up the remaining 1% or so. The thickness of the pores is barely a few nanometers. Oh, I see. Aerogel's extraordinary properties extend beyond its ability to insulate. It also exhibits both hydrophilic and hydrophobic properties. How is it possible? Now we're gonna sprinkle some aerogel powder on the water. Notice how the aerogel doesn't sink. It's practically floating on the surface, creating a barrier. I'll put it in the water. It's in the water now. The match is still dry and lit because of the extremely hydrophobic qualities of the aerogel. Oh, it's great. The spoon is entirely submerged, but it's completely dry. I'm going to throw some particles on. I wonder what would happen if I apply it to my full body. Would I be waterproof? Oh, that's really awesome. That's fantastic. In reality, my hand is not being touched by these ball-shaped droplets. My skin and the water are separated by a layer of aerogel powder. Oh, it seems magical. Yes, it truly is. However, we will be astounded by what we observe when I cover my entire body with these particles. Let's get going. This one is already half burned. My goodness. As you can see, this arrangement protects this hamburger far better. This one is also on fire. The difference is evident. Why isn't this insulation used to insulate everything on Earth if it's so effective and is being used to insulate spacecraft? From clothing to structures, it turns out that it has a big issue. I adore that. It's really lovely. Since the dawn of time, the problem with aerogel has been that it is extremely brittle. And that's what we do at SolarCore or Oroz Labs. How can it be made less brittle so that it can be used for any purpose? So, this is the answer you thought of. That's right. Thus, this is an aerogel and closed cell foam combination. The silica ingredient used to make closed cell foams has a structure made up of small, sealed air pockets. We'll do a quick test with this foam before proceeding to the flamethrower test and testing it on my full body. If something collapses, I have to take my hand instantly. Yeah, I'm quick. You ready? You can crank it up as much as you like. So, you're seeing the influence on it. So, it's incredibly cold here. I can touch it as much as I like. It melted. Look at the contour of it. It used to be flat. You ready? I'm prepared. Ho ho. From the sides, I sent some heat. However, the center did not respond. Are you able to come near me? I wanted to get as near as that. For those who don't know, liquid nitrogen has a temperature of roughly minus 196 degrees Celsius, which is extremely cold. If it touched your skin, that wouldn't be good. Your skin would get frozen. My hand would then be broken. For comparison, let's see what this liquid nitrogen can do to an object that isn't shielded by aerogel. A bunch of parsley is the next thing on our list. This time, however, we'll spray liquid nitrogen directly onto it rather than immersing it. The bones themselves are broken. Then, this could be extremely risky. That poses a serious risk. Mike is standing behind me, preparing to squirt me with the liquid nitrogen. All right. Are you all prepared? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is incredible. I'm not feeling it. Only on my pants, as some droplets got on them. But it's okay. But I don't feel anything in my upper body. After applying aerogel particles to my body, I plan to keep dry in the water, so there aren't any health issues. No. All right. How are you feeling today? Yes. It's clear that you've been in chilly water before. Yes. All okay. Excellent. Just in case, we have everything else ready. Pressure at the systolic level, 113. I'm equally applying silica aerogel powder from a pail to my entire body. Let's test whether it can keep me dry while submerged. I'm completely submerging my body now. I am dry. This is a miracle, guys. Particles are obstructing the water coming onto my skin. Still nothing. Nada. Look at my leg. It's been in the water for quite some time, and it's dry. There are drops on my leg. Let's pull these out of my leg. I don't even feel cold. I don't even need that. I shall get into a pool immediately, and you'll see how it genuinely appears underwater. Aerogel particles form a thin, gray film because they caught small air bubbles on my body. These air bubbles reflect skylight, giving my skin a dazzling, silvery appearance. You can detect some of these air bubbles come off my legs and ascend to the water top. I feel lighter in the water with air against my skin, totally dry. How can that be? Even if it's pouring hard right now, I stay dry. I might be the only person caught in the rain entirely covered with hydrophobic aerogel particles. If you look at it attentively, there are rain droplets on the surface of the pool water. This indicates that there is an aerogel layer between the pool and the rainwater, preventing the two from ever coming into contact. This aerogel powder is hydrophilic in contrast to the hydrophobic one I used on my body. Observe what occurs when I apply water to this aerogel. Because this kind of aerogel can absorb moisture from the air, museums use it to preserve artifacts and safely store medications away from moisture. Finally, the nanopores in aerogel are even smaller than the visible light. The visible light spectrum spans from 380 to 750 nanometers, while the pores in the aerogel are just 20 to 40 nanometers wide. Shorter wavelength particles, blues, purples, UV light, get scattered when they meet aerogel. And that's what causes aerogel to look blue, the same reason the sky looks blue. It's called rayless scattering, and aerogel appears opaque when exposed to ultraviolet light, which has the shortest wavelengths. Since it scatters the light more effectively, the aerogel seems entirely transparent when we switch to infrared light, which has the longest wavelengths of all. This allows light to pass through more readily, particularly in direct sunshine. Here was Rui Quintet.